Analytic function f of z equals u of r theta plus I v of r theta such that v of r theta equals r square cos 2 theta minus r cos theta plus 2. Here we have expression of v in terms of polar coordinates r and theta. So we are looking for analytic function f of z also in terms of polar coordinates r and theta. We'll be depending on polar form of CR equations dou u by dou r equals 1 by r dou v by dou theta and dou v by dou r equals minus 1 by r times dou u by dou theta. Looking at expression v, taking first order partial derivative of v with respect to theta, treating r as a constant, we get dou v by dou theta. Also, we can evaluate first order partial derivative of v with respect to r, treating theta as a constant. With these two expressions, we will find out the well-defined expression of u. Having found u, we can frame f of z equals u plus iv, which will give us the analytic function in terms of polar system r and theta. We are taking partial derivative of v with respect to theta, treating r as a constant. This is the expression v. We have derivative of cos 2 theta equals minus sin 2 theta into 2. Derivative of cos theta equals minus sin theta. Derivative of 2 is 0 because 2 is constant. R is also treated as constant just like r square. Therefore, the final expression of dou v by dou theta is equation 1. Similarly, we evaluate dou v by dou r, which gives us 2r cos 2 theta minus cos theta. Because we treat theta as a constant, therefore r square is the variable whose derivative is 2r. R is the variable whose derivative is 1. So we are left out with these terms after partial differentiation with respect to r, treating theta as a constant. This is CR equation in polar form. If you multiply this equation both sides by minus 1 and you take r to the RHS, you obtain dou u by dou theta equals r cos theta minus 2r square cos 2 theta. Moving back to equation 1, if you multiply both sides of this equation by 1 by r, you get the equation dou u by dou r equals minus 2r sin 2 theta plus sin theta. If you integrate both sides of this equation with respect to r, treating theta as a constant, you have integral of r is r square by 2. Therefore, 2 gets cancelled after integration. Here sin theta is treated as a constant term. Therefore, integral with respect to r will give you r as the coefficient of sin theta. You have a constant of integration which may involve theta terms as well. Therefore, you give a general expression possible for constant of integration as g of theta. Anyway, there is a constant of integration, and since theta is considered as constant, the constant may also involve terms containing theta. So, general expression g of theta is given for the constant of integration when you integrated dou u by dou r with respect to r both sides. Now, we can evaluate dou u by dou theta from this expression of u, taking partial derivative of u and this expression both sides with respect to theta, treating r as a constant. You obtain this equation. Now you are in a position to compare equation 2 and equation 3 because you notice that the LHS of these two equations are the same. When you compare, you observe that r cos theta repeats in the RHS. Minus 2r square cos 2 theta again repeats in the RHS. Instead of g dash of theta, we have no terms here, from where we puzzle out the expression of g dash of theta as g dash of theta equals 0. When you integrate both sides of g dash of theta equals 0, you obtain g of theta equals c. Because integral of 0 is just the constant of integration c. Having found g of theta equals c, we can now write the well-defined form of u. U equals minus r square sin 2 theta plus r sin theta plus c. We were only having confusion about what will be the format of constant of integration, g of theta, and now we have confirmed that it does not involve any terms of theta, it is just a constant c. Since we have u and v, we can now frame f of z equals u plus iv. We write the expression of u and v. Now we group terms containing r square, group terms containing r, and constant terms. When you look at terms containing r, you have sin theta minus I cos theta. When you take minus I outside, you obtain this expression is equivalent to minus I times cos theta plus I sin theta. Cos theta plus I sin theta can be replaced by e raised to I theta according to the Euler's identity. Thus, you replace sin theta minus I cos theta by minus I e raised to I theta. Similarly, looking at the terms involving r square, you get an expression minus sine 2 theta plus I cos 2 theta. When you take outside I, you have this expression is equivalent to cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta. Again, we can make Euler's identity because cos 2 theta plus I sin 2 theta equals e raised to 2I theta. Again, following the same Euler's identity. Thus, notice that these two expressions are having I as a common term. So, I can be taken outside and you write the left out terms which are r square e raised to 2I theta and r into this expression is having apart from I minus e raised to I theta. So, minus e raised to I theta is written. And the constant terms are also written. Thus, we have obtained the analytic function f of z in terms of polar coordinates r and theta.